Cool.
James Jackson for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined on Zoom today with Umar Sadiq. Umar, sat in the airport, getting ready to fly out to your next fight. How's it going?
All good, all good. Just got to the airport, had something to eat, and then now we are just gonna, well, after this interview, we're gonna go to the gate to go off, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Talk about the fight. Obviously, Fedor Chudinov, very experienced guy, 22 wins, 2 losses. World title holder. He's been in with Frank Buglioni and George Groves, over here. Talk to me first of all, how did the fight come about?
Yeah, and just to touch on that as well, Chudinov's lost 2, but one of his losses is very contestable. So he's a very good fighter, and like you said, world champion. The fight came about out of the blue, man. I just got a call saying, "Would you fight Chudinov in Russia?" And I said, "Yes." Basically, yeah.
And how long ago was it offered to you?
It was first muted to me about 3.5 weeks ago, and then we've only just finalized the fight yesterday. So all this time, it was going. Is it going to happen? Is it not? And I thought it was just doing what I do, which is stay ready. And I was prepared for it to either happen or not. And fortunately, it's happening. So now I'm on a plane, in the airport, about to get on a plane.
I was going to say, I've known you a long time, and I know full well you stay ready throughout. You don't need a training camp as such to be ready for a fight. Obviously, There was the Lerrone Richards bout. Was looking at that, waiting on a date for that. What's the whole situation with that fight? Is that still going to happen in the future? Are you still looking at British title later down the line, or?
There's different levels or layers to that question, but the most important thing here, or the thing that really matters to me here, is that I'm going out to Russia, of all places, to box against a Russian, not golden boy, but a guy that's loved by people, for a world title, my first ever professional title. So right now, all of my focus is on that, and I look forward to winning, and I believe I do. Then after that, I can entertain conversations about anything else, but for now, funnels.
Absolutely. You said, I see, world titles for the WBA Gold Belt. There are so many titles in all the different organisations. Will you see yourself as a true world champion if you win this title?
I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna call a spade, right? Like you said, all these governing bodies have got a lot of world titles, and the WBA have got 3 world titles. So they've got the super title, which is Callum Smith, the champion of right now. Then they have the regular champion, which is Canelo, and then they've got the gold champion, which is currently Fedor Chudinov, since Umar Sadiq. And then after that, they've got the rankings 1 to 10. So I don't know how else to make. I mean, if you speak based on only having one person as a champion, then we have to recognize that Callum Smith is the current champion. Then behind him, you would have Canelo and then Umar Sadiq. So, whether I'm recognized as a world champion by some people or not is irrelevant. The fact is, at the very least, I'm either number 3 in the world or I'm a world champion, because, like I said, after the gold title, then you get the list of 1 to 10. Now, obviously, I'm not on the list of 1 to 10 because what have I won so far? But also, after winning this, I still won't be on the list of 1 to 10 because I've been WBA Gold champion. And when I got the fight agreement, it read agreement for WBA Gold World Title. So, the agreement I signed was for a world title, so I'm a world champion.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, you say, obviously, Canelo, Callum Smith are the other 2 title holders with the WBA in that weight as well. You say you've not really won anything. You are coming off your career best win, Cody Davis back in February. How much of a... So far, absolutely.
Yeah.
How much of a crazy journey has it been? Obviously, we've had a lockdown. Like I said, it was meant to be Lerrone Richards, and now you're going out to Russia to fight Chudinov in his backyard. How much of a journey has it been for you this year?
It's just, I mean, the lockdown thing, I think it's affected most people more than it's affected me. Simply because since January the 1st, 2019, my life has been sleep, eat, box, go on holiday, come back, sleep, eat, box. So even with the lockdown, what I did was sleep, eat, box. And then, the Lerrone fight was supposed to be end of July, maybe beginning of August, and then it wasn't. Then it was mid-August, and then it wasn't. He was dragging his feet. So that bit was quite frustrating. But otherwise, I've just been doing what I do: sleep, eat, box, working on my craft, getting better day by day. And 2020 is shaping up to be a very, very good year for me. I started off with my best career win so far, like you mentioned earlier. That was in February, and then I've had the privilege of being able to work on my fundamentals through lockdown without a fight looming over. I got to work on the fundamental things that would typically be relatively looked over for the sake of the camp, and that's given me a more solid foundation to be going to Russia with, to be prepared to dethrone a world champion.
Do you feel you're looking at being fast track now? Obviously, going out there to Russia.
Well, this is a fast track, isn't it? If this ain't what is. My last fight was for a British title eliminator, and then this fight is for world title. That's as far as fast track. So I'd say, yeah, I'm leaping. I'm flying.
Was that a plan at all of yours and your team to be fast tracked at some point?
Last year, towards the end of last year, done an interview with Uncle T Boxing and Frank Warren. It didn't get many views, that video, but Frank said on that interview, he said next year we want to step Umar up, and we're going to step him up big time. And I was like, yo, Frank, chill. So when he said big time, it really sounded big time. But I thought, I took it tongue in cheek. And then the Cody Davis fight came. And I thought maybe this is the step up. And then I got the British title shot with Lerrone. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense. This is the step up. But he was like big time. And then obviously now this has come up. I'm not saying that he predicted this from then, but obviously it shows that from then they had the intention to be willing to put me up, again, massive step up.
Obviously, we mentioned the Lerrone fight already, and no disrespect to Lerrone or the British title, but it's worked out in your favour. It's falling through, really, isn't it?
100. I mean, I've gone from gunning to be the best in Britain to be the best in the world. One of three best in the world, three kings, if you call it. So yeah, that's big. That's like get to European level, the transatlantic if there is a thing. I guess you get all these international champions. Yeah, skipped all of that and gone straight to the top.
Talking about Chudinov, have you had enough time to study him and see what threats he may pose to you?
I mean, because of the nature of the way the fight come about, short notice and whatnot, we've just had to look at what we can very quickly. And I mean, he's got a lot of things going for him. I must say, he's very, very, very durable. Like very durable. The guy was walking through George Groves haymakers. That's a durable guy. He's very strong as well. You can tell because people have a hard time holding him on the inside. So he's strong. He's durable. He's got very good shot selection. So his accuracy is on point. He's relentless in how many shots he throws. He almost just has a reaction of punching back when anything happens. And, he's got experience over 12 rounds several times. I've never done a 12 rounder. So on paper, I look like a madman. I don't understand why. But, that being said, what I've got to be is very grateful for this opportunity. And there are very few people who believe in themselves in boxing more than I do myself. And I mean that when I say it because there are a lot of fighters who say all the right things, but their actions prove otherwise, or you hear things. And, a lot of fighters say that they'll fight anyone, but they actually wouldn't. I don't even say it, but, my record speaks for itself. It's actually on my fourth fight. I was going to fight Luke Blackledge. She pulled out. Then fought 2 weeks later. Tommy Langford. These are all like people of the ex-champions of some sort that I've gone to fight when I've never even won a title. I was going to fight Willie Hutchinson. He pulled out. I fought Cody Davies, and I was going to fight Lerrone Richards. I really do mean when I say I'll take the fight if it makes sense. And this fight makes sense for me. An out of the blue opportunity to box for a world title, make history. I think potentially I'll be the first ever Brit to win its first ever title abroad and be it a world title, also in Russia. And I'm not sure if any Brits have ever gone to Russia to pick up a world title either. So, you know, I know I'm saying world title repeatedly, and it's down to interpretation. But I've got a massive opportunity here to do something great, and because I believe in myself as much as I say, I believe that there's every reason to take it. So I have done, and I'm going out there to do a good job on it.
You mentioned that you believe in yourself. We've known each other a long time, and the first time I met you was down York Hall. It must have been about 2-3 years before you turned pro.
It was about 3 and a bit years ago, yeah.
So a little while before you turned pro, and you told me there and then that you will sign with a big promoter. You told you believed in yourself then. You knew, you manifested it. Talk to me, obviously, out to Russia. Not only is Chudinov a tough man, but in Russia as well. And clearly you believe in yourself. But just how big a task is it to go away as well, not just against a good fighter?
Going away, that's lifestyle for me. I travel a lot. Like I just said, my life since the 1st of January was eat, box, travel after you box and do it again. And I've been traveling for a long time. I travel comfortably. I traveled as an amateur as well. So that part of things is just, business as usual. The difficulty really is in the fact that it's likely that I'm going to be dealing with officials that want Chudinov to win. That includes the ref, so the third man in the ring, the judges, and who knows what else. Things that happen behind the changing room or whatever. So really, that's the challenge. It's that if this was in a British ring, I'd be confident that I'd be able to dance circles around Chudinov and win. But then in Russia, I've got to think like, geez, if it's close, so if any round is close, I've got to just think, right, he's got that. You know what I mean? Or even if I win, but it wasn't the clearest win of a round, I've got to think, yeah, he's got that. So I'm really up against it here. And I know I'm very relaxed about it because that's just my nature, but it's not because I'm delusional about the task at hand. When it's time to turn it up, I'll turn it up. But yeah, I'm definitely up against it, like you said.
Do you have the mindset you've got to stop them?
Yeah, I mean, that's the surest way to go about it, isn't it? if I want to eliminate the chances of, whatever we're alluding to here, then I've got to stop him. That being said, there's also a third man in the ring. So there's even like stopping him. I've seen fights where the favourite person is getting beaten pillar to post and the ref jumps in and goes, stop boxing. And then looks at both of them and goes, okay, box, just to give the other person a break. And then things like getting warned for hitting low when you're not hitting low or holding when you're not holding. Like, there could be so many things. So again, I'm really up against it. And I don't really know, if the officials are going to be fair or how fair they may be. All I know is I'm up against it, but I know I'm going to win.
Absolutely. Umar, I wish you the best of luck out there.
Thank you very much.
Weekend. Friday, we'll be tuning in. Thank you for your time speaking to pro boxing fans.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. If anyone's been watching this, please follow the journey. Follow me on social medias, Top Boxing Sadiq, and follow James because I'd imagine when the UK outlet picks up the fight, he'll be posting it as well. Yeah, all right, that's it, man.